Hey everybody, this is Know Your Mac on YouTube.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can put your own video in a still. So right here I have a picture that I got off of the Apple website, and it's just a bunch of iMacs lined up in a row. It's a nice picture, and I basically want to put a movie inside this first MacBook. Now this is very easy to do. And you're going to need Adobe Photoshop, and I'll be using CS4 for this tutorial. Any version will do, even if you have a legacy format. And you're also going to need ScreenFlow, because it's very easy to put movies inside other things in ScreenFlow. But you could also use Adobe After Effects for this one. So now I'm going to open this picture in Photoshop, and again, if you want this, you could just take a look at the Apple website. And when I load this up, you'll notice that I have this checkerboard design underneath it. Now this means that this is transparent. So I want to make sure that everything other than my screen is not transparent. So in my layers palette, I'm going to click on the new layer button and drag that new layer to the bottom. Now while that's still selected, I'm going to choose my rectangular marquee tool and just make a selection around that area of the screen that's checkerboard. And be sure not to select the area that you want to fill with a movie. So now just go up to Edit, hit Fill, or you can hit Shift F5, choose Use White, and then hit OK. So there we have it, it's gone, and you could just hit Command D. And next, I'm going to resize this and just zoom in a little bit on my first Mac. So now with the pen tool, we're going to make a path around our screen. So just make little anchor points on all four corners. Just like that. It's all selected now. And now in our Paths palette, while holding down the Command key, click. And that should select the path. So now back in your Layers palette, choose your layer that contains the image and hit Delete. And now your checkerboard design should be here. If it did not delete because it's locked, look in your Layers palette. If there's a lock icon next to it like this, just click the lock icon on the top. Or if it says background in italics, then double click and say OK. So now you can hit Command D to deselect that. And I'm going to save this image. I'll just save it as pic, and I'll save it as a PNG file on my desktop. Hit save. Now I'm going to quit out of Photoshop. So now we have our image, and I have already made a short little movie in ScreenFlow. Now this isn't a big movie or anything, I just pulled it together just for a demonstration. So if I double click this, it will open, and you can tell it's only for a demonstration because there isn't even any sound to it. So it just goes along, very short, very quick. And up on the top, I'm going to click this last button here, which is symbolized by the word Media. And I'm going to click on Add Media. So I'm going to navigate to my desktop and just choose my image, pic.png right there. And notice how that section of the screen that I took out was white now. And hit open. So now I have it, and I'm going to drag this down here. Now before we do anything, we have to go to the end where this little icon should pop up and drag it all the way so that it matches the end of the other movie file. Otherwise, it'll be appearing and disappearing You don't want that. Select the image, and I'm just going to make this a little bigger, and I want it basically the size of my movie. It doesn't really matter, you can make it any size you want. And you'll notice that things are peeking in right now. So select your movie and resize that. To the width of your picture. And if it's like mine, where it's not completely in there because it should be on an angle, you could click this first little icon up here and start messing around with the rotations. And just like that, it is appearing in my image now. Feel free to keep messing around with it till you get it the way you want it. And it can be a little annoying when you're doing it inside an image because it will kind of select the wrong thing when you want it to select another. But once you have it set up the way you want it, you could just go to File, Export, and watch my other video if you want to know how to export this in HD for YouTube. And I'll just save it as movie.mov on my desktop. Just use the default settings. Hit export. And this should only take a few seconds because it's not a long movie at all. Alright. And here's movie.mov. If I double click it, it'll open in QuickTime Player. And if I hit play, my movie takes place in my still. So right there, I could have basically a Mac tutorial within an iMac picture. So that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you subscribe. Thanks.